What thing is secretly just one giant scam? Casinos. All of the casinos in my state are video poker and video slot machines. There are barely any table games left. No one is happy, no one is having fun. It's just a room full of zombies, feeding the machines and losing money. Every person I talk to is convinced that they know the secret formula to win. You cannot win. It might sound trivial, but the old slots were just a spinning reel. These new machines are extremely addictive. The way the lights flash and the sounds go off like, bing bing bing. Winner of 40 cents. The entire thing is a psychology hack, to give people the impression that they're winning when they're not. All multi-level marketing companies. They tell you that all you have to do is get 5 people to sign up, and they each get 5 people to sign up, etc. Except these are not mathematical geniuses running these companies. By the time you get about 12 levels deep, you've surpassed the entire population of the earth. It's a good lesson in exponents. Funeral services, preying on the grief of loved ones. I understand that it's really for the living to celebrate their lost loved ones, but when I'm done I just want my family to bury my dead ass in the backyard and throw a bash at the house in my honor. Doubt I'll mind considering I'm dead. Essential oils, being marketed as having these major health benefits, as treatment for illnesses. The only exception being clearing your sinuses. Some essential oils actually do pretty good work in that regard, at least for me personally. Mileage will vary, I'm sure. The lottery. I work at a place that sells lottery, every single day to people. Some people will buy scratch tickets, Powerball, etc. They come back to the counter 5 to 23 times the same day, trading their tickets for more, spending more money, because they lost all of the previous winning, or just be in an endless loop of never winning any more, and not losing any less. I've asked why they do it, and they say, because if they don't hit big it's not worth the cash. So winning $1 is nothing to them. But they don't realize even if they do win big, they practically are just getting only half back of what they spent, trying so hard to get. It's a lose-lose. Lottery is indeed a huge-ass scam. U.S. healthcare system. I went to the ER a few weeks ago for an unknown pain in my chest and overall shitty feeling. Got slapped with a $1,500 bill with what turned out to be viral food poisoning. My brother, who is a doctor, said that was normal. Why the fuck is that normal? Every time someone starts ranting about evil socialism and how great our system is even if it's expensive, I think about my mom who had $2 to $3 million worth of healthcare spent on her when it would have been $500,000 max in any other developed country. And it was all paid for by taxes because she was dead broke, so instead of paying normal costs with taxes it was millions. The kicker is that she didn't even survive. People's tax money was just throwaway thanks to balloon costs, and all of it could have been avoided if she was able to afford to go to the doctor when she first noticed a lump in her breast. But no, she had to wait to save up to go to the doctor, and by the time she could afford it, it had developed to stage 4. What a fucking joke, and the punchline is pain and death. The wedding industry in the US. $20,000, $30,000 for a single day, stressful as hell event. When I learned a photographer alone runs $5,000 minimum, I almost puked. And a lot of venues didn't give a shit about COVID and hosted packed weddings, resulting in deaths because we got to make money somehow. Absolute slime balls. Now, before all the vendors dogpile me, let me be clear, I'm fully aware why you guys charge as much as you do. I also hope you understand why an average person like me looks at the price and says hell no. And for those that want a conventional wedding, if you can swing it, do whatever you want. My wife and I did a sandals all-inclusive baka/wedding/honeymoon, which has its own pros and cons but still a no-brainer due to the cost and convenience. Insurance. Health insurance in particular. The whole concept is pay into a pool on the off chance that something happens you can get some kind of reimbursement, which sounds fair on the whole, but is so often bogged down with unfair terms and conditions that many get screwed over. This on top of predatory policies and greedy salespeople means a whole lot of people get fucked over. Realtors, probably the most overpaid, underqualified profession. The commission-based comp is crippling for some sellers, and if you try to sell on your own, FSBO, they will steer all their buyers away from you. College tuition. I graduated with a BS Information Technology and Computer Science. Working at a job and earning just as much as my coworkers who didn't go to college and earned certifications. They have zero debt, while I'm $40,000 in the hole. The Graduate Record Examination, GRE. It predicts only socioeconomic class, not success in graduate school. It's expensive and stressful, and everyone from psychology to engineering take the same math portion, which completely fucks the norms. Luckily, thanks to COVID closing testing centers, it's being waived as a requirement for psych programs, and it may never come back. It's not a secret to some of us, but American healthcare is a scam on a scam within a scam. A hospital will charge overinflated prices. Box of tissues. Sometimes listed as mucus recovery system, a single tissue box in a hospital costs $8. Gloves. Charge to patient, $53 per non-sterile pair, sterile or higher, for a total of $5,141 during average patient stay. Cup medicine. Cost is for the plastic cup used to administer medicine, not the actual medicine inside it. Charge to patient, per cup, $10, for a total of $440 during average patient stay. Organized religion. I'm a pastor at a small church in Tennessee. I do not preach on giving, nor do I pressure anyone into giving us anything. We cannot say out of one side of our mouth God is all-powerful and on the other say we need you to give so the lights can stay on. Scripture even warns of people who preach like this, Kenneth Copeland, Joel Osteen, etc. We just got finished providing backpacks and a year's school lunches to over 200 kids in a local school comprised mostly of low-income families. We partner with this school to provide free tutors to these children. We pay for these things because we have been called to love others as ourselves. Every Christmas, we provide gifts for hundreds of kids in our area. I can assure you, at my church, there is no scamming happening, and no hoarding of wealth. I'd encourage you not to lump the churches who actually try to love their communities with the false teachers parading around as pastors to line their pockets. Good churches still exist. The American stock market. Man, after being in it the last several months, I have learned it really is the most corrupt thing I can think of. Keep holding, apes. We hold for each other. Animal agriculture. The government subsidizes the shit out of meat and dairy. In return we get to stuff ourselves full of terrible food that gives us heart disease and cancer, is cruel to animals in factory farms, causes greenhouse gas emissions, water scarcity, pollution, deforestation, habitat loss/wild species extinction, and other environmental issues, gives slaughterhouse workers PTSD, etc., etc. But it's great because the government gets that sweet meat and dairy lobbyist money. In general, how people flaunt their wealth under American capitalism. I know more than a few people/family members who always get a new iPhone, their house is all decorated and looks nice, they buy fancier clothes, etc. below the surface. However, they're behind on their mortgage/bills, everything they own is on credit, and they're not set up for the long term, all because they want to flex to strangers on the internet. The scam is falling for that image. The whole baby product industry is based on making parents feel worthless and irresponsible if they don't chill out for things that will be outgrown or unnecessary in 6 months. Gonna get hate for this one. Art. People pay millions for paintings. I can have the exact copy of it in my house for $10. The only difference is they can say theirs is the original. Who cares? They both look just as good on my damn wall. The stock market. I know it's exaggerated, but billions on Showtime made me realize how the whole game is a big manufactured machine of lending, borrowing, and fucking people over through insider trading. Pension for younger people. As if the money will be there for us 30 years from now. College, in the US anyway. College in the US literally doesn't care if their students leave the institution educated, they just care about taking your money while you're here and getting as many people on board as possible. We see colleges just straight up abusing fresh adults who are told this is their only option. Many universities are accepting more students than they can handle, and shoving extra kids into a room barely big enough for 2 people, let alone 3. Living on campus is a scam anyway. For most universities it's not worth the price to share a small room and bathrooms and eat crappy food, which you are also required to buy if you live on campus and is also a rip-off. I want to make sure my future kids know about the benefits of community college, trade schools, or heck even in state institutions. I hear of kids going out of state and paying $40,000 plus a year just to live. It's honestly sickening. Pretty much any insurance. Yes, it can be useful in your time of need. However, my experience with car insurance, for example, is that I have been paying thousands of dollars for years now and have never needed to file a claim once. So in a way I have wasted thousands. Hopefully if I ever get in an accident and need the coverage, my insurance won't find a way to weasel out of paying the claim. This will probably be downvoted, but Mortgages. Everyone I know buying property can only pay the minimum down payment. If this is the case, and 90% of individuals are not buying property outright, then what would happen if we banned mortgages? The banks would be pissed because they do not get interest, but it would not hurt me. All it means is the market would better represent what people can actually pay.